Hello everyone, my name is Aman Rashid. You're watching Mr. Phone and welcome to a brand new episode of Mr. Phonecast. Today I have with me Mr. Anish Kapoor. He is the CEO of Infinix Mobile, and without any further ado, I have a quick question for you. So 2020, the ongoing pandemic, okay, it's not been good. So how have the sales been for Infinix Mobiles?
So I think 2020 was a very mixed year because pandemic hit us and it was not too good for everyone.
Yeah.
But I think what we saw, we really nosedived at the time of lockdown.
Yeah.
But I think we came back much stronger in the recovery period. So once lockdown was done with, I think the what we saw was a whole upsurge in demand because the adoption of technology became much quicker for India. So we really saw an upsurge in demand, and accordingly I think we had a pretty decent year 2020. In fact, we exceeded our expectation because once we thought we'll really go below the par, but I think we really did well.
Okay, so now that 2020 is gone, what about the future plans? What are the upcoming plans? What kind of phones can we expect from Infinix right now?
So I think, Aman, we are actually pretty excited because till now we have been really working on the sub 10K category.
Right.
I think one of the key things which has been a feedback from consumers was we don't get the right kind of chipsets, but everything else is phenomenal.
Right.
Because we normally come out with the phones which are first in technology,
Right.
or first in segment technology as people call it, because the uniqueness of big battery, big screens, bigger RAM and ROM story,
Right.
I think we were the pioneers
Right.
in each of the segments in sub 10K category.
Right.
But what we plan to do in 2021 is not change what we are doing good, but change where the feedback has come. So we have already started last quarter. We launched two phones with G70, G90T, the Note series and the Zero series. So I think this year, apart from our Smart series and Hot series, you'll see some great products coming in the Note series and the Zero series, which are our flagship series globally.
Right.
So I think that change is going to happen, and I think people can expect really good stuff coming in that.
Okay, so 2021, we are seeing a lot of 5G phones, rolling out from other manufacturers. And looking at your relationship with MediaTek, you guys have used a lot of MediaTek chipsets in the past, and Dimensity processors have come out. Both are 800 and 1000 series. Both are 5G chipsets. Any plans for a 5G smartphone coming forward?
I think, good question, and I think what is really happening is, yes, people are launching a lot of 5G handsets, and we also plan to launch it.
Right.
In fact, you will see a 5G handset coming from us as early as Q3 now.
That's good.
And we at least expect two phones this year on 5G platform. But having said that, I think more important part for people to really understand is 5G is still not available. It'll take us some time to get 5G services in India.
Right.
So what we are going to do is give that consumer an offer. Okay, if you want 5G, we have 5G as well.
Right.
But at the same time, we are looking at creating some really good stuff in the Note series with the 4G technology,
Right.
Note and Zero series, which
Right.
will be first in segment technology again, which
Right.
will stand out in its price segment.
Right.
And I think people can really probably can use that opportunity to try those phones as well.
Okay, speaking of which, 5G, what do you think about the 5G future in the country? In our country, yeah.
See, I think future is definitely there, and I think it's only the timing part of it, because right now with the telecom, what is happening in the telecom space,
Right.
it all depends how quickly we are able to roll out 5G services. Definitely 5G is going to really help us because the speed and the overall experience will be much better.
When do we expect?
That's a difficult one, but I think my expectation, or probably what I believe, by end of this year or probably starting of the next year, we should start seeing some action happening on the rollout.
Right.
Probably it not be all as great as covering the whole country, but I think it's a first step which will definitely happen.
Cool, perfect. Okay, so Infinix Mobiles come with this custom Android skin, right? You call it XOS.
XOS, yeah.
Very feature rich. I don't have any like major issues. I've used it, but the thing is, people, a lot of even including me, I have so many issues with the bloatware apps on the phones, like pre-installed apps. So, what is your take? Because people, they have these issues that why, when we don't even need these apps, why do they even exist on our phones? So, what's your take on these pre-installed apps or so-called bloatware?
I think it's a very interesting question, and I've been asked about this multiple times. I think my take is very simple. It's an offering for consumers, and when we say it's not limited to one or two, for a mass consumer base. What we have seen really is there are a lot of people who really love it.
Right.
And we have a community called X Club. There's a lot of feedback which we keep taking. We also keep checking what is the kind of usability it has and how many people really use it.
Right.
The second part is while we are taking the feedback from other set of people as well, and you will see those things probably getting much lesser as we go forward. But we also give that option to, if you really don't like anything, you just uninstall. Okay. So it's not about we are just pushing you have to use it. You don't like it, you don't use it, you can uninstall from the phone. Right. It's not something which is there embedded permanently.
But is there any benefit to the company when you are, and I'm not talking about first party apps, so you're talking about the X Club, okay, I understand. That's the first
X Club
party
is a community, but I'm talking about the games and other things which we're talking about.
Like Moj, ShareChat, these types of apps that we see on phones. Is there any benefit to the companies also, like on the part of Infinix or, for example, any other phone manufacturer? What benefit is it for the companies if you are including any?
So I don't think so. It's about the overall offering which we are talking about. And I think end of the day we are also in the business of getting revenues as well.
Right.
But it is not about right now. It's not about revenue, but it is about how we can really make sure customer experience becomes much better.
Right.
Some people like it, some don't like it. But our larger audience, which is sitting tier 2 and below, they actually use a lot of it. Maybe the people who are actually going into tier 1, which we want to expand to right now with our Note and our 0 series, probably you will see much less of it from here on. But otherwise, we see people really responding to it and really liking the whole thing.
The good part is that we can still uninstall them. So yeah.
So that's
enough because I have one phone manufacturer. I don't want to name right now.
You don't have to name it. I
can't uninstall. Things.
So that's what I said. It's all about consumer experience. It is not about we really pushing hard, but we giving an option to the consumer. Okay, boss. These are the things which you can really do with the phone.
Right.
So there are advantages which, as you mentioned, on XOS, because there are a lot of things which we have done in terms of giving that value proposition to the consumer with the skin. But these are the additions which people can really use it. I think it's pretty good. At times you don't really want to install and play a game, and you just really do a click and play the game and just do with it.
Right. Okay, so budget phones, entry level phones, sub 15,000 phones. Okay, Infinix has a good presence, no doubt. Any plans for a high-end flagship smartphone? Because I've seen your phones, okay, the Hot series especially, are good-looking phones for sure. So any plans coming out into the flagship space as well?
So I think we define flagship as which are more affordable than what so-called flagships are, because they cost you a bomb. Well, our flagship is, that's what I started in the first question, and when we talked about Note series and 0 series.
Right.
I think objective is how do you give maximum in a very low cost.
Right.
That's the philosophy. That's what we do at Infinix. And when we talk about first and segment technology.
Right.
So you will see a lot of those things, features which are available at a much higher cost pricing by different brands. You will see coming out in 0 series and Note series as well. Okay. So the value proposition would be much more, but definitely, as I mentioned, between 10 to 20k, you will see at least 5 to 6 phones coming from us this year. So essentially, we're talking about a really good stuff coming in Note series and 0 series.
But you guys are doing really good. Like, I've seen your phones. I would really love to see a high-end, top of the line. Why not a Snapdragon 888 phone? I don't know, maybe.
See, I think
sometime.
the journey is very simple. We are so one of the other brands started like this, but they
Right.
changed their gear and went on to price their products very differently.
Right.
Our core philosophy remains the same. I think we
Which is good.
continue to work on this,
Mhm.
and objectively we think 20k, 25k. That's what
Huh.
below that we should be able to give consumers a really good stuff,
And it's approachable also, the price.
and which people can use and really don't
Right.
have to spend a kind of money they do right now. And I think 1% of the consumers who really do. We really can't talk about that.
Perfect. Okay, so Anish, what about the TWS category? What is your thoughts about it, and how is Infinix planning to expand in the audio space in India?
So Aman, I think what we did, and last year we started the audio category, but
Right.
we started with the name was different. The brand name was Snorkel.
Mm.
That's something we have, and we launched close to 3 to 4 TWS devices last year,
Okay.
and we also launched a soundbar. I think a lot of feedback on both the products, on what we should be doing. So we went back to drawing board, and I think what we are planning to come out with be really kick-ass stuff.
Okay.
And I think the Snorker 2.0, if I have to say,
Ah.
would be much more younger, trendier, techy. The product experience would be much superior than what we had given earlier.
Right.
So I think that's what we have been working for last few months now,
Right.
and that's another category I'm pretty excited about. And I think we should see something coming out as early as starting of Q3.
Q3. Light on the budget, heavy on the sound.
Definitely, that's a core proposition we believe in, and I think we'll continue to do that.
That's perfect. Okay, so Anish, when we buy smartphones, okay, it's not just about buying the phones. It's also about the after sales support, because there's one company makes amazing phones. Okay, Google Pixel I'm talking about, amazing phones, but just 1% if there is a problem. The after sales service is not good in India. So how does Infinix deal with after sales support in our country? What's your take?
So Aman, I think service is probably the very important and core and integral part of any brand.
Definitely.
I think once you sell a product, if your service and after sales service is not up to the mark, probably you'll not do justice to the consumers, and over a period of time, I've seen multiple brands going down because of that.
Right.
So when we started in India, I think first thing which we talked about was the service. So probably we are the only brand which has an integrated app in the phones itself.
Okay.
So once you buy a Infinix phone, there's a CallCare app which is available,
Okay.
which tells you which is your nearest service center. You just go and click it. You can go to the nearest service center. You can log in your complaint. There's a e-warranty which is available on the phone. So you don't have to worry about the after-sales service per se. And I think we have got India covered pretty well. We have close to 930 service centers. We cover close to 700 towns.
Okay,
So
that's
I think in terms of spread,
700 towns.
Yeah.
Okay.
so that's the kind of spread which we have right now.
Okay.
So which takes care in terms of wherever we are going and selling to consumers, since we are more online centric. So full India is our market.
Yeah.
So anybody and everyone can buy from anywhere. So we pretty much try to cover most of the India, and we continue to evolve, evaluate if there's a addition to be done. So I think that's an ongoing process on which we follow.
Which is good, yeah. Perfect. Okay, Anish, so in these times it's vocal for local is trending, okay, and I've seen Infinix phones have been, being made in India only. So what about the journey going forward?
Good question, Aman. I think, and very important for us.
Right.
Probably we were the first brands as Transient Group who invested in India.
Huh.
Because what we have seen is there are other brands who really have set up they sell here. They do contract manufacturing. In our case, what we have done is we have actually invested in India. We have factory which is running, which produces all our phones which are made in India.
Right.
So I think from an investment standpoint, as a company, we are absolutely invested in India, and we want to make sure we understand India pretty well, and we make everything in India. And I mean that's the way we work, which is Glocal is the name. It's
Which is
global,
good,
but think
yeah.
local and do everything local.
That should be it. Yeah. So this last question is coming from one of our team members. Porush wanted to know that you guys, we have actually seen two TVs from Infinix until now. He has heard at some event that you guys also mentioned about a 55-inch TV that was upcoming. Okay, so any plans, any tidbit that you can give to us right now?
So Aman, I think TV is a very very interesting category, and I
Right.
think we started this category end of December.
Haha.
We've seen some great response coming from people. The feedback has been phenomenal, and I think what we want to do, obviously 40 inch and 55 inch is a part of the plan which we want to bring in. It's only how the supply chain became a bit broken over a period of time with the panels. So I think things are a bit delayed right now, but otherwise what we are really planning for right now is to launch 40 inch and a 55 inch in the coming months. So definitely it is in the plans, right?
Porush, you got your answer. There's a TV that's coming.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you Anish so much for having me here, for having this chat with me. And guys, if you like more of such content, be sure that you are subscribed to the Mr. Phone YouTube channel. Like this video, share this video with your friends. And Infinix is about to launch the Hot 10 Play on 19th April. So stay tuned if you want to see the unboxing and first impressions, and of course the review of the phone. I'm sure it's going to be a good phone.
It's again a kick-ass phone. I think as always we're trying to bring the best in the segment. So please go ahead and
I'm pumped for the Hot 10 Play, and till then you guys take care, and I'll see everyone in the next one.
cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.